What do you feel the dog adds to this game?
Besides massive amounts of internet memes, for us, when it started, actually, it was weird. It was we do this brainstorming session, and we put up on a wall, we put up the card that said, a dog for your squad, and we were like, okay, that's cool. We could do some cool stuff with that. We can have the dog, jumping up and ripping out people's throats and stuff, and it'd be cool. And then we brought in a Navy SEAL and his service dog, and got to talk to him about how the dog is trained, how he's used in combat, how he's used in the field, what he means to the squad, and the stuff he told us. I really feel blown away by it. It totally really kind of changed the way we thought about how important the dog would be. He wouldn't just be some AI drone thing that's going to run around and shoot people. He's actually a more important tool and a more interactive tool, which was actually a really crazy thing. When they brought all the equipment in, the equipment that the dog wears allows the Navy SEAL to actually control the dog remotely. And it's basically based on just a camera. The dog has an earpiece, so he can take verbal commands. So the SEAL sees what's on the camera and can say, "Hey, go right, go left, go, attack that guy," or or whatever. Come back, release. Just knowing that was like, okay, well, there's some interesting gameplay there. And I think you can put a dog in the game, but if you don't make it look and feel believable, you don't really get attached to it. And so I think we put a lot of effort this time too, a lot of mocap time, which was very interesting. But a lot of effort into it to make him feel like a real dog. And if you look in some of the trailers, you see there's a point where a guy comes over to the dog and he's like petting his ears, and and the dog's reacting as if he was getting pet, and it looks more real, I think, than I expected, and it really adds to that you care about him kind of experience.
What's it been like working with the Hollywood director to help with the story?
That was actually, so we've worked with Hollywood directors before, and usually what happens is, they come to the studio, they have a few meetings, they spitball ideas and kind of give us some stuff, maybe write some dialogue or something and email it to us, and then that's kind of the extent of it. That's normal. Stephen Gaghan hasn't been doing normal at all from what we've ever seen in game development. He is at the studio every day. He has his own office. He's involved not just with writing, but within helping the designers to craft the story and the experience. So he's also he's a director as well as a writer, and so he understands scene and he understands composition of scene, and so he's been heavily involved with the designers to just help craft the whole thing, not just dialogue, let's say. So it's been actually an amazing experience. It's funny, you go there at late at night, everybody's grabbing dinner or something, he's there afterwards, he's playing ping pong with a team, he's kind of a team member now. So
last time I asked you is what do you feel will define next generation gaming?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Next generation gaming as a whole. That's going to be an interesting one. I think there's a lot more open opportunity there than I think people realize. And the reason I say this is, if you look at current gen, you look how hard current gen was to code for and to program and to make games for, especially in the beginning. It meant small studios wouldn't have that opportunity to really develop for console because that barrier to entry was a little too high. It required, a bit more resources or, just a different kind of approach than a small developer could handle. And so one of the things I'm hoping, this is a hope more than anything I'm predicting, but I'm hoping that we see a lot more small developers making AAA games for the consoles. With the consoles being more PC-like, I'm hoping that barrier to entry isn't as high as it used to be. So that's my hope for these next-gen consoles.